Alright, today we're going to be just working on a little Halloween carving. I kind of drew it on there a little bit. Just a little pumpkin, just a little Halloween decoration. So should be a relatively easy carving if somebody wants to carve one before Halloween. Still got plenty of time. I put this on a few weeks before Halloween, so stick around. We'll show you how to carve it out, and you can make one for Halloween. Here we go. Okay, we're just going to start out cutting this pumpkin out. It's just a thin piece of pine, but this is a saber-tooth flame burr that I'm using just to rough them out. Just going to cut a rough outline. I probably could have saved a little time cutting just cut the top of this off with a jigsaw, but it cuts pretty easy with this too. I wasn't sure if I was going to cut it off or use those two holes to make a little thing to hold a string. Yeah, just roughing them in real quick. Like you would a regular pumpkin, I guess. Draw an outline and then round off the edges. Some big angry eyebrows on it. So see where I cut above the eyebrow and below the eyebrow where his eye is. I'm just going to start rounding it off. As I round it off on the edges where his mouth is and stuff, I just carve the mouth in a little bit deeper until I get in far enough where it looks good. Has a little bit of a roundness to it. Looks good. This is a saber-tooth burr also. It's just a little smaller. Allows you to get in and draw the details in a little bit. Cutting his eyes back in pretty far, but not the whole way through the wood, so had to cut them in pretty deep to get the eyebrows rounded. The bags under his eyes there, yes, just to give them a little bit of shape. And then the teeth also, I kind of rounded the top of the teeth back to make it look like the pumpkin was drying out and shrinking back in. Gives them a lot more character. This little bit I have in the micromotor is just a little tungsten carbide double bit. just a little bit skinnier than the other one, so I was able to draw a little bit more, and it doesn't rip the wood up as much. It's a little bit smoother. I decided to just go ahead and cut the rest of the way through this and cut this top off. Figured if I was going to hang it up, I'd just poke a little hole in the top there. Fun doing little stuff like this because there's not a lot of roughing out, and there's you can do a lot of little detailing in it. So still a lot of fun factor for a small carving. Took me roughly around an hour to carve this out. Here I switched down to the diamond grit burr, just kind of sand everything out a little bit. It had a sharper point on it, so I could get in and clean the corners up a little bit. This is a little flatted thing that I use for putting fur on and stuff like that. I can get in there between his teeth and make it flat back in his mouth there, make it easier to paint, cleans up all the corners. He doesn't have a fur, but I'm giving him a fur-like texture, like that pumpkin's been rotten and collapsing on itself and getting wrinkles in it. So basically, just like fur, just put it in the direction that you'd think fur would go on there, or the way the pumpkin creases would go. You don't have to worry about getting the surface real smooth when you're doing these, because if it has a little bit of roughness to it, it just gives it more texture and makes it look even better. Thought about cutting them clean off of this, but I thought he'd make a little stand for him to put a little leg off the back of him, make him stand up. So I decided to leave a little bit of a base on there and make it look like a little bit like an old rotten fence post. We'll just give them a little bit of Keller and put some polyurethane on them, and we'll have him whooped. He looked pretty cool with just this black painted on there. The orange I have is really bright orange, so I mixed a little bit of brown with it, tone it down a little bit. Same with the green. The green was a dark green, but I think I mixed a little bit of brown with it also, just toned it down a little bit. The brown, I didn't mix any brown with it. Still wasn't quite dark enough, so I took a brown wash. Alright, well, I got this little Halloween carving done, and it's just out a little piece of pine, leftover scrap from a pallet, and it's just a hope it inspires somebody to go out and get some carving tools and dig into a piece of wood and see what they can make. This is just a quick little carving. You can do a lot of different things like this and make some interesting Halloween ornaments or Christmas ornaments or whatever you want to make. So anyways, hope I inspired somebody to get out there and get carving, and thanks for watching. Yeah.